Welcome to the BumbleKast. I'm your host, Ian Flynn, the Bumble King, and joining me as always is my Bumble co-host, Kyle, GCRB Kraus.
How fast do you think we can speed run a BumbleKast, Ian?
Let's find out by answering these questions from our patrons over at patreon.com/BumbleKast, Ko-fi.com/BumbleKast, and our YouTube members.
Okay, we don't need to go that fast. All right.
Make up your mind!
But we did, but, I got some stuff coming up that I need. I'm actually the busy one for once, so I can't stick around for too long. But hey, you know what? I'm here for you. I'm here for these questions. So let's get to them. Starting with this one from Alphamon or Yukon. Via some random magic MacGuffin or whatever, Metal Sonic becomes a regular Mobian hedgehog. How would the former Metal Menace come to terms with this possibly permanent transformation?
He'd hate it.
Oh,
he has to eat.
Yeah.
He has to eat now. He actually has to breathe. He has physical limitations. I mean, before his torso just, threw him forward and he just had to aim. Now he actually has to move. That's no good. He's breakable. He has to withstand heat and cold and wind and rain, and he can talk now. This is obnoxious. He makes noises, and people expect him to continue to make noises. He can't just think and upload things. No, this is awful. Please, Eggman, invent robotization in the modern Sonic setting and turn me back into a robot. Please now. Thank you.
That sounds about right. Would he just look like Sonic, or would he be something else? That's what I'm wondering.
At insult to injury, maybe his brain just gets uploaded into some random animal shell, so like he's a peacock or something.
Oh, jeez.
How can he be the one true Sonic when he's not even a hedgehog? Oh, he hates it. Oh,
no. But, I mean, the question is that he becomes a regular Mobian hedgehog, not a random other animal.
That's right. That was part of the question. Okay, so, sure.
Yeah. That is insult to injury if he just does look like Sonic.
He turns into like the old brown Fleetway Sonic.
No! Oh no.
Starts running around all of Eggman's reactors carrying some eggs. Please change. Wait, no, it was a treadmill. Starts building a treadmill next to every reactor. Grabs all the Chaos Emeralds, turns super instead. No, damn it, I wanted to be... No! Blue, I have to be blue.
Poor Metal.
He wouldn't even be Metal Sonic anymore, he'd just be fleshy.
Ew. Meaty Sonic.
Squishy the Hedgehog.
Good old flesh bag. Here's a question from Ann Tails. Hey, Ian and Kyle, my spouse won't let me name our future child Miles or Miley for good reason. Okay, I mean, those are legitimate names. And I can't think of anything better. We still have time to come up with names at this stage, but because it's been on my mind as of late, I wanted to ask, if you were to have a kid, what would you name them? Who knows? I may commandeer your answer and disguise it as my own idea. Now that would be delightfully devilish.
You cannot name your child Aurora Borealis. I forbid it.
Why? Are you going to do that?
You especially can't name them Krusty Burger, but say that it's pronounced Aurora Borealis.
Yeah.
That I super forbid.
Steamed hams.
We never really talked too much about it because of our own circumstances, but at least in my family, on my side of things, there was always a James or a Kirtland in one generation or the other. So
yeah,
if we had a boy, I would want to continue that somewhere. But it would be their middle name, not their given name, because, I have nothing against my full name, but it's not I don't go by my legal first name, and that causes all sorts of delays when doing paperwork or clarifying things. Or, are you here to claim a package for James? No, I'm claiming a package for Ian. Or maybe even go back further and find a name that's still within the family, but kind of older. Like, apparently, if you go back far enough, there's a Thomas and there was a Honora. And I like Honora. That's a very lovely name.
That is a cool name.
But I'd want something in there somewhere to be a family name. Mother's side, father's side, somewhere in there. Just to have a little bit of history to it. but then a name that's, the kid's name for themselves, something that they can identify with, something that is theirs, that is who they are.
Yeah, coincidentally, James is a running name in my family as well, including me. It's my middle name, so
the J of Kyle JCR Krause, JCRB Krause.
Yes, that is in fact what the J stands for. We have the same name partially. Me and you, we are both. God. We are Jameses, but also not. But still,
join us next time for the BumbleKast. I'm James, and joining me as always is my co-host Jimmy. Jimbo? Jim Jam.
Jim Jam. Jim Jam Baroo.
Jimmy Wimmy.
Now that's okay. I don't go by James, and you don't go by James, so we will just ignore that. But, I don't know. Maybe I'd also do something similar. I'm not with anybody who wants kids, and I've not really given it too much thought on names myself. So I don't know if I have a good answer for you. I mean, what's wrong with Miles or Miley? Okay, maybe Miley could be like, if you don't want to have the association with Miley Cyrus or something, but I don't know if you have something with that, but I don't know. Those are decent enough names.
Like I'm not inherently opposed to fandom names if that character means something incredibly important to you, but to keep in mind that this name is going to a person, a human being.
Yes.
You're not labeling your OC. This is someone who will have to grow up with this name.
Yes, they will have to endure school with this name. Remember what kids were like when you were in school.
Yeah.
They are like that still. They haven't changed. They still bully people for their name, which they did not choose. So keep that in mind.
I caught a lot of crap for Ian because it was the most foreign name at my school, to give you an illustration of that. So...
Which really freaking blows my mind, because Ian is like the most pedestrian white bread name for I can think of.
You go to any pub in Ireland and shout that, and half the room's going to look at you.
Exactly. So. I'm that's very weird to me for some reason, but
Oh, it's very weird. That's a whole other diatribe. Never mind. Point is,
yes.
I think Miles and Miley are okay as names, and we within our circle understand the reference.
Yeah.
But so make sure that you are naming your child for them. What does that name mean for them? And when they get old enough, are you going to be comfortable looking them in the eye and saying, I named you after a cartoon mascot? Your brother Mickey doesn't like it either, but still, we love you. Consider.
Just think about it, and just remember, just first of all, how kids are, and just how people are in general with names. Sometimes people are mean when names can be easily twisted into something. It's kind of gross. Yeah, so I think that's good advice. Here's a question from Andrew D. Would you happen to know why Sonic Chronicles is non-canon? Does it have anything to do with why Archie Sonic was originally rebooted? Can you even talk about it? Regardless, do you think we can ever see elements from it, like Shade and the Nocturnus revamped into a modern Sonic setting nowadays, similar to how old Sonic media occasionally gets reworked? I'd love to see Shade or a version of her become canon.
I don't think I should talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. And I am 99.9% certain that everything in that game is forever off the table. Let's never speak of it again.
Shame, too, because there's some interesting stuff there that could be played with. Alas. That toy box is slammed shut and locked forever. Thanks, somebody. Certain somebody. Here's one from Master Seed P. Would you happen to know the ownership status of characters like Law, Sue, and You'd expect them to be in the same boat as any modern character. But that being said, it seems they've become something of mascots for Marza. A few years ago, they were included as part of the regular art post on the Marza staff Twitter page, along with their original characters. In fact, Law probably had the most art and was kinda headlining the account for a while. What stuck out to me is that there was no mention of Sega was included in the copyright of the art, only Marza. It wasn't until they made a piece with Sonic that Sega was included. Does that mean anything, or make their inclusion in the comic more complicated? Or does it not really matter since they're part of the same company?
I don't know. Like, you would think that if it's all owned by Sega, there wouldn't need to be a specification of ownership.
Yeah, but here's the thing. You got that weird Pokemon issue, too. And Nintendo has, like, majority ownership of the Pokemon company, but they still largely operate independently.
But
Ownership
you know,
is weird with that, so kind of wondering.
But the ghosts appeared exclusively, as far as I know, in the Werehog short, and Sue and are in Unleashed. They're like very basic models in like a side mission.
Right.
They're Easter eggs, but they're in a Sonic product. So I don't know, to be perfectly honest. So if they should ever come up in a pitch, we'll see what Sega says.
Alrighty, cool. Here's one from Chaos Sonic 1. How would you bring in the metallics from the Fleetway comics if allowed?
I've told this story 100 times, but it still tickles me. I went to a Summer of Sonic in London one year and met Nigel Kitching and said, I'm so jealous you came up with the Brotherhood Metallics because that is the coolest thing in the world. And he said, "No, thank you. If you want it, you can have it." And, after I finished, it's like, I thank you for the offer. I know it's not that simple. I wish it was, but thank you so much just for saying it. If they were on the table, I think what we do is we would do our own spin on it, like not try to transplant Sonic the Comics metallics, because it's part of what makes Sonic the Comic unique.
Right.
It's their take. I don't want to take that off their table. I'd want to do something inspired by, an homage to. And I would think Sonic Mania gives us that avenue, because during the fight with Metal Sonic in Stardust Speedway, you see other Metal Sonics kind of in construction. He's in some kind of device that's creating the little proto-Sonic, Metal Sonic, whatever the heck they're called.
Mm-hmm.
So, say that reactor keeps turning along. We know that Little Planet is still trapped in the Death Egg too. Maybe that machinery is still chugging along, and there is a big old red Metal Sonic Kai commanding an army of Metal Sonic copies. It's possible. It's doable. It makes enough sense to me.
Yeah. I mean, let's go for it. Go for it, Ian. Do it. You don't have to tell anybody where it came from. Here's a question from Chonky Pancake. Would you ever consider letting fans submit designs of their OCs, even if just for a limited time, for a chance to be included as background characters on the IDW Sonic comics as a cool way to connect with the fans?
If it were up to me, that sounds super cool.
Yeah.
That sounds like a lot of fun. That's not up to me. That would be up to the folks at IDW, and I would assume Sega.
Yeah.
Because any material printed in the licensed book would be part of the license, ergo it would be owned by Sega.
Yeah.
And I think technically you would have to get like a waiver of rights for every single submission. And that is a lot of legal paperwork to do. And not only is that time consuming, but that's expensive.
Yeah.
And it kills me, because that should be just such a simple, fun thing. And from my understanding, it's not, because all it takes is for one person to raise a stink and it grinds everything to a halt. So thankfully, it's not up to me at all. So I can just pass that buck.
Yeah. It would be cool to see. It would be fun to have that sort of thing. But alas, maybe we could do something like they did in the early Archie, very early Archie days, where it was a contest to write a Sonic story, but it was actually just writing the dialogue for an already existing story. That would be kind of fun. I remember I actually, I participated in that. I sent that back. I sent that in. My mom made copies of that book, and I remember sending it in. So,
well, heck, during my tenure, when I did some of the fan mail, I got submissions for that how many years after the fact?
Really?
You know?
Still, some people were still sending those in.
Yeah. Some of them were photocopies. Some of them, the kid looked like they ripped the pages out of their book and sent it in.
Ooh, I mean, I guess if that's what they want to do, but man.
And I remember it was like Sonic number 6 or something. Like
yeah, it was
way
very early on. Yeah.
In the letters page, somebody sent in their OC idea of a pirate dog, basically.
Oh, yeah.
And they doodled it up and put it in the letters page. Yeah, that guy sounds cool. Here he is. And it's like, so simple, so innocent. No worries, no cares, no litigation. Just, wish it was more like that.
Oh, the good old days where we could do an adaptation of A Christmas Carol in Sonic and no one would bat an eye. Then again, no one would bat an eye even today because the story's public domain, but still. Here's one from Devin C. While playing through Sonic Frontiers and all its cyberspacey goodness, the dynamic of Eggman and Sage reminded me of a relationship from post-reboot Archie. If Frontiers were adapted into that era of the comic, would Nicole and Professor Elodie get a contrasting role? Closure?
Maybe. I mean, we were planning on revisiting Nicole and Elodie anyway. There might have been an interesting parallel discussion between Nicole and Sage and their, identities, and Nicole being a few steps ahead of Sage in that arc.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be potential fertile ground.
All right. Here's one from Domino. After enough playful flirting, Sonic and Rouge decide to go on a date. How does it go? How do Amy and Knuckles react?
I imagine they hit it up on the town. They have a fun time flitting around the nightlife, partying, chilling out, just being casual, cool. Amy's fine with it. She's happy that they've found a good time together, and it doesn't bother her at all. She's got her own things going on. She's sharing her love with the world. They can do whatever they want. Not that she cares, or they just happen to be in the same city. She's not a block down the road. What are you talking about?
Is Knuckles just angry and has no idea why?
Well, Knuckles is kind of curious what's the big deal about eating dates. They can eat whatever they want.
Oh.
Why are they going on about dates? They're fine. Whatever.
Rouge says, you want to eat what my mom made? I'm being told Kyle no in the chat.
Kyle? No.
This is a family show.
It was.
That's February. You know how it goes. All right. Here's the question from Dove. Let's give Rotor a Wispin. What kind is it? What can it do? How does he use it? Does he name his Wisp buddy? I miss Rotor. Please show Walrus Donatello some love.
He should have the Party Hardy Quadrasonic Rock and Roller again, except it uses all the wisps. So he just fires it and you hear all colors.
All colors, all colors, all colors, all colors.
I mean, it takes a few seconds to reload because all of them have to come flying back, but
yeah,
that one shot's going to count.
Party Hardy Quadrasonic Rock and Roller. I don't, when was that? I'm trying to remember that. I mean, I'll never forget the Big Bad Mama Jabba, but I apparently forgot about that one.
Well, that's the other name for it.
Oh, okay.
They were inconsistent with it, but that was all pre-Endgame.
Yeah, they got weird. Okay, they didn't use, okay. I don't remember being
He showed it off once.
Yeah.
Said it was going to be strong enough to punch through dimensions.
Yeah.
And then he fired it once, and Robotnik was able to block it with an energy shield like it was nothing, and then promptly blew it up.
Yeah. Okay, I do remember that happening. I just don't remember it being called that. But I do like that. I like that name. I prefer that name to the Big Bad Mama Jamma.
Loads it up, locks onto the Egg Dragoon or whatever. Eggman, taste the rainbow.
All colors.
How's that for your rainbow connection? Sonic's like, dude, you're getting kind of quippy whenever you hold that up. I'm sorry, this thing runs on like pure 90s machismo.
Rotor. Good old Rotor. Miss that guy. Yeah, I miss that guy. Here's a question from Fang. My question is a battle question. Who would win in a fight? Sun Wukong from Lego Monkey Kid versus Goku versus Monkey Khan from Archie Sonic. I just found out about Monkey Khan and he looks so much like Wukong, so I would love to know who is win in a fight between all three of them. Do we have to include Goku? Because including Goku makes this a big mess in the comments.
Yes, Monkey Khan is quite clearly based on Sun Wukong and the Journey to the West story.
Yeah.
I'm not super familiar with Lego Monkey Kid, but from what I've seen, that Sun Wukong is basically the legendary version, which is like narrative hacks to the extreme. Whatever he needs to do, he can do it unless he needs to learn a lesson in hubris. So between him and Goku in his present state, I would dare say that's a tie. Goku's godly level, stupid, strong, ultra instinct, whatever flavor he is now. And again, Sun Wukong is I win because the story says so. They would clash, they'd blow up planets, they'd have a good laugh, they'd eat 700 tons of food and then go back to it. Monkey Khan would not be a footnote in that fight. Yeah, he's strong in the comics, but he can't hold a candle to either of them.
Yeah, probably not. I think he would struggle at best, sadly, for him.
But he'd get in a good hit. Goku would giggle because it tickled, and then he'd get Kamehameha.
Yeah, pretty much. Here's a question from Happy Times. In Frontiers, we got a scene for each of Sonic's friends about how they're going their separate ways to see the world on their own. However, Amy stuck out to me as having a weaker impact, probably because I found her motivation and plans more unclear compared to Knuckles and Tails. She said she believes in the love the Coco showed and wants to share that with the world. But what does that exactly mean? Go around the world with cream and sticks, just walking into people and telling them about these two Coco that were in love but tragically died together? A bit more insight would be helpful.
This is one of those things where I don't think I can really talk about it, but I agree. And you know what? It might be safer to just leave it at that.
Okay. Is this like a knowing head facepalm, or is this a knowing smile territory? Is this something that will be addressed? Maybe.
Hopefully in future projects in the long term.
Okay. All right.
We'll see.
All right. Well, on that bombshell, it's time to take a quick break. And we'll be back with more on the BumbleKast.
Our ad comes from our longtime patron, Daniel H. He says, "Good day to you all. I'd like to do some signal boosting for Miss Jordan. She's raising money for her transition, but also to move to a more friendlier city or state. Click the link to her GoFundMe page to learn more. If you can't donate at the time, share her page around if you please. Thank you for your time and be well." Check the description of the video below for the full link to her GoFundMe.
We're back and we got a question from Jay Chance. One more thing, Ian. What would it take to make hypersonic canon in IDW Sonic, as I know you don't like power creep? Adam Bryce Thomas said he just wants one shot at Hyper in a milestone issue. Just one. Ian, let Adam cook.
Oh my God. I wish I could let him cook because that'd be delicious. And don't get me wrong. I want to see Hypersonic.
Yeah. I mean, we all do.
I thought it would have made sense for the final fight in Frontiers and tried to make my case, and that got shot down. In previous episodes, I've explained the dangers of the power creep, and I understand that. I do.
Yeah.
On the other hand, Hypersonic's freaking cool, man.
Yeah.
And I am definitely of a mind that, if you do it carefully, you can avoid some of the power creep. Just give us that one glorious glittering moment. But that is not up to me. That is up to other folks that I failed to convince up to this point. But Hypersonic freaking rocks, so who knows when another opportunity might arise.
I'm being suggested here to just give Sonic some coffee mixed with a few cups of sugar. There's your Hypersonic. I guess that's one way to do it. Here's one from Judas Coda. Modern Tales is gifted with a genius rivaled perhaps only by Eggman. He's inventive, resourceful, and barring some moments of childish cowardice, a competent and skilled fighter. Sad AM Tails, a literal child. If these two had swapped places from the start, how would it affect their respective worlds? How would game/IDW Sonic function if he still cared about the kid, but he'd never had tornado support and had to keep a defenseless child safe? How much bigger of a threat would Eggman be without an intellectual rival on Sonic's side countering his technology? As for Sad AM, how would the Freedom Fighters work with an engineering wonderkind absolutely outshining Rotor and putting him completely out of a job? Would the coup and the resulting resistance have changed at all with Tails on the same level as Sonic and Sally in the field?
Not to be pedantic, but this is just like a small note here. It's Eggman has a genius that is perhaps only rivaled by Tails, not the other way around. Tails is very gifted, but he's not quite on Eggman's level.
Well, he should hurry up and get there.
Nobody else is really on Tails' level. And now we're getting to power scaling again. Oh, Lord. Anyway. So if we've got Sad AM Tails in modern Sonic, he just wouldn't be around for most of the adventures. You know, Sonic's not going to drag a kid kicking and screaming into a war zone. He's not got the patience for that. So we would probably see more of Tails hanging out with Cream and them going on, child buddy adventures, flying together and whatnot. Tails would still aspire to be more and, follow Sonic, but Station Square would be gone because he wouldn't have been there to stop them. I guess Eggman would be blown up too at that point. Blech. Sonic would still be in jail because nobody came to bust him out of the. Well, Amy made.
Amy did. Amy got him out. Amy showed up first.
Yeah, but Tails kind of blew up everything in between her and the door. So
okay, I guess whatever. It is both of them. They were a team.
They were.
Just give Amy a gun.
Why? They were fighting gun. Ba-da-ba-ba.
Oh.
You would need a much faster, more aggressive growth arc for Sad AM Tails.
Yeah,
I guess. As for modern Tails getting beamed over into Sad AM, there's still the aspect of the time difference. So he wouldn't have been able to stop the coup because he would have been a baby. Or shoot, would he have even been born?
That baby.
It was like 10 years, wasn't it? Coup to present day? Was it 10 years?
I don't know. I think it was like 10 years, something like that.
He would have been, at least a baby, if not a thought of a baby.
Yeah. In Archie, he was born a couple days before the coup.
Yeah, all right.
So
it doesn't matter because we're fast forwarding to the Freedom Fighter days. He's outpacing Rotor in terms of technical prowess, potentially, and even Uncle Chuck, arguably. But his limitation would be on his resources. Like in modern Sonic, he just has labs everywhere. He doesn't seem to have an issue acquiring what he needs. Whereas in Sad AM, the Freedom Fighters were constantly with this issue of their living out in the woods. They can subsist off the land fine enough, but they don't have access to the tech that would put them even close to parity with Robotropolis. So I imagine there would be a greater focus on raiding Robotropolis for stuff to bring in so that Tails can build. Rotor did a pretty good job with what he was given. But if we're talking like Tails' level of tech, he would be able to work with it better and be a contributing member, I guess. We would have a tornado. Heck, we might even have a cyclone. But at the same time, he can't win the war on his own. Sonic couldn't either. So it would basically be he would be another asset to the team. Certainly a crucial player, but he wouldn't single-handedly turn things around.
They put all our resources into Mama Jammas. Here's a question from Many Hats. Did Sonic help the rest of the Cocos die, or did he just leave them to figure things out however they did before he came there?
I mean, they're already dead, technically, but I imagine he largely left them to their own devices.
That's kind of how Sonic rolls, He tends to, once things are calm, he tends to leave things alone and just move on. Here's a question from More Kerosene. Since Scourge nearly went super off the Master Emerald, what would happen if he went super using it / the Chaos Emeralds, or if Sonic went super using the Anarchy Barrel? Would their abilities differ from that of their normal super forms? How would their bodies react to the difference?
The idea we were working with by the time we got to Anarchy Barrel would be that both grant a super state. It's just one gives you a feeling of euphoria of empowerment afterwards, and the other one nearly kills you. So if Scourge were to go super off the prime gemstones, he'd still go all purple and spooky, but it would be a good super state for him. Whereas Sonic, if he used the Anarchy Barrel, he'd still turn into Supersonic, but he'd have to make short work of it because the minute he depowered, he would be on the floor. Does that completely jive with the way Evil Sonic turned into Scourge? No. Did we think about that back in the day? No.
We just thought it was cool.
I mean, we did go through a lot of different palette ideas for Super Scourge. And ultimately, the one we landed on was like, okay, this one doesn't follow the logical trends, but damn, does it look good. We got to go rule of cool on this.
Exactly. I mean, come on, it's Sonic. You go rule of cool. When you have the option, you should probably go rule of cool. Just because it's Sonic, man. Like he doesn't have to. He doesn't have to make total sense all the time.
Rarely does he ever.
Exactly.
Like the one thing that I do kind of miss is one pass we had idea was that the jacket turned white and the flames on the shoulders turned blue.
Yeah.
And with that dark purple look, I think that looked pretty sick.
That would look cool, but it would look kind of cool, but it also might kind of clash. I don't know. So that's
he's a confrontational person. Of course, it would clash.
The chat is telling me that lore is more important than cool. I'm like, no, you guys need to get your priorities straight. That's wrong. It's incorrect. Incorrect. Here's a question from Noni. Why do monotremes in the Sonic universe keep attempting to put babies in appliances, or at least appliances in babies?
Well, they were told that there's a bun in the oven, and they got very confused.
They took it a bit literally. Oh, boy. Here's a question from Andolje. Banana Cat's question got me curious. On a scale from 0 to 10, how would Dr. Starline be at flirting? And how would he respond if the person he's flirting to reacted positively to it?
That depends. Is he flirting because he's trying to manipulate someone? Because then he's a 10.
Yeah.
He knows how to get into people's minds and mess with them and manipulate them. And even without the tech that he has, he would be smooth and he would be
suave, charismatic.
Yeah. He would wind you around his little finger as he wined and dined you, and then you'd wake up without your kidneys.
Wait, you wouldn't wake up without. You can't live without your kidneys, Ian.
I didn't say how long you'd be awake.
Oh,
I just say you'd wake up.
Okay.
If he was actually trying to woo someone, 4 or less, because then he would actually have feelings for someone and care for them and their well-being. Hopefully,
weird. That
is a very foreign concept to him.
I was going to say, that doesn't strike me as him at all.
Yeah, if he's actually trying to meet someone on his level, as far as he's concerned,
yeah,
he has problems because he is not a good interpersonal person. Everyone is someone to be used in his mind.
Yes. Yeah, Canon Starline. I don't think so. No. Fanon Starline, yeah, sure, why not? But Canon, the actual Starline in the books? No. Here's one from Scurvy Pirate Hog. Ian, it's happened. Vector has finally managed to convince everyone that money is real. The downside, now all the Sonic characters must each have a job to earn an income so they can pay their bills and taxes. Even the likes of Sonic and Knuckles, as there's a running tax and a Master Emerald tax. What kind of jobs would the different Sonic characters get? Who puts a tax on the Master Emerald?
Number one, Sonic is anti-authoritarian anyway.
That's true, yeah.
He's the Master of Speed. He can dodge taxes. You're going to bring him in? Go for it. Try. You saw what happened when Gunn tried to bring him in. It didn't stick.
Sonic commits tax fraud. Finally.
Meanwhile, Knuckles is the sovereign citizen of his own land.
I was going to say...
What are you going to do? Make him pay taxes to himself?
I was going to say, Angel Island is the ultimate libertarian utopia.
Exactly. You show up there and he's like, if you're with the government or the church, get off my property, which is effectively everywhere.
Airspace taxes.
Unless, of course, whoever has dominion over Mystic Ruin Jungle says it's technically part of their landmass.
Oh, no. Now Knuckles is going to court.
Gunfighter planes with IRS stamped on it go flying by.
Is Eggman actually afraid of the IRS? Is that like the one thing that he doesn't mess with?
No, that's why he formed the Eggman Empire specifically so he doesn't have to pay taxes.
Okay.
You have no jurisdiction over me.
Oh, great. Another sovereign citizen.
Else,
this time one with an army.
Exactly. Closes the dome on his Eggmobile. This is private property. You can't invade.
This is my own private domicile.
But like, Tails could do tech support. Tails could open up a garage. Tails is set until he gets dinged for violating child labor laws.
Oh no!
Amy could be fine. She could run just about any kind of shop you throw her into. I mean, it might take her a minute, but she'd get into the flow of things. She'd be fine.
Yeah.
Rouge has a booming empire, all of it to launder money, but she's got the best head on her shoulders.
Mm-hmm.
The Chaotix continue their detective agency thing.
Yeah.
It's not a successful business, but by dingy, they run it.
Rouge has her own casino.
Yeah, there you go.
She has her own club, yeah.
She legally steals people's money.
Yeah. I mean, that's what gambling is.
I mean, that's the greatest trick of the world. Have people pay you to give them your money. Big is self-sufficient. He's off the grid.
Big lives off the land, yeah. He doesn't even understand the concept. Meanwhile, Blaze is the government.
You come in, you tell him you can't collect rainwater, and he just stares at you until you leave.
And Blaze is the government.
Exactly.
Tingle accidentally evades taxes.
Jules very frustrated because this is the third time she's had to explain you got to pay back the credit card.
Yeah. Whisper threatens them.
Well, Whisper's a merc,
Yeah.
I don't quite know how assassins write off their taxes, but
probably
I'm
the
sure
same way
there's a
any
way.
other freelancer does. She's a subcontractor.
She's a personal consultant. You're dead. Bang.
Good.
I mean, the Babylon Rogues are thieves. They can report taxes anyway.
Does Starline diligently do his taxes, but always whines and complains about it? Is he one of those guys?
Oh, he does, but he games the system. He knows every single loophole.
Well, obviously, but yes, but he still does them.
He files his taxes. They're perfect to the letter. It's just the government owes him money by the end of it.
But he still complains about having to do them. And he still complains when it's tax time. He's like, let's do my taxes. All right, that's good. I think that's enough for now. Here's one from the Might of Gabura. Does or can the Jeweled Scepter / Power of the Stars maintain the concept of parallel universes?
I mean, the Power of the Stars vaguely is implied to do that, I think? ? And Jeweled Scepter, as far as I can parse out, is the way to access that power and dimensional travel.
Fascinating. Here's one from Dragon 5. It's a miracle. There's a new Mega Man book, and you, Ian, are going to be writing it. But there's a catch. It's an X book set after X8, and you must create 8 new Mavics to act as villains for its first arc. What animals do you pick, and what powers do you give them?
I always had one in the back of my head that I don't know if we'd ever get to use, but I liked it. Titled Clydesdale. Because
All
number one,
right.
that sounds cool.
Why does a horse have tidal powers? Who cares?
Well, because Neptune, god of the sea, created the horses for man, so it's got a
Okay.
logical angle.
Here's a good one. I'm surprised this one hasn't happened yet, actually. Go ahead anyway, sorry.
And you know how Clydesdales have those big, fluffy lower legs?
Yeah.
Those are basically the big old gauntlets and boots that the Reploids have, and make those just big old water reservoirs. He punches and kicks you with high-pressured water.
Yeah. I like it. It's cool. I was just wondering what the connection was there, but now I get it. A suggestion I'm getting is Funky Monkey, which I'm really surprised hasn't been one yet.
Maybe he's got like
Jazz Jackrabbit. Dang it.
I had a rough idea for like a hummingbird that's entire body spun like a helicopter blade.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
It'd be wind themed. I don't know what it would be, but I always want to see a muntjac in something, just so people go, "What the hell is a muntjac?"
I'm also being told King Kong is a valid Maverick name.
Wasn't there already Stone Kong? Or what was his name?
Yeah, I think something like that. Yeah, I don't remember exactly, but there was definitely something like that. There's been a few funky ones, but sadly not Funky Monkey.
I mean, whenever this kind of question comes up, it's like there's ideas, but they already did Bamboo Pandemonium, and how do you eclipse that? How do you even reach that bar?
Yeah.
Again? Although Funky Monkey is pretty darn close.
Funky Monkey. Bamboo Pandemonium. It's just the fact that they actually went with calling fully Pandemonium. They could have just called him Bamboo Panda and left it at that. But no, they went full Bamboo Pandemonium.
They did the right thing.
They did. They did.
Right.
They did. And then there's also all the ones that are named after Guns N' Roses band members, which is one of those weird things.
I don't know. If I actually had to put some serious thought into it, I'd want to either come up with something that was thematic to the whole storyline itself, or failing that, just go with some of the most obscure critters you can come up with, so that people are going, is this a real animal? Did they make something? What is this?
Yeah.
Educate the people.
Yeah. Like with Earth Rock Trilobite. That was like, a lot of people were like, what the heck is a trilobite? Unless you're a geologist, then you know and hate what a trilobite is.
Or Infinity Minion.
Infinitely Mignon. That's all I can think of. Cannon Capybara.
It's the only Maverick that doesn't fight you. He's just chill. Oh, hey. Yeah, I got the virus, but whatever. I got the good stuff from Funky Monkey. You want to hang out?
Let's see. What was the other one from X8 that's... there's one in Gigabolt Manowar. Yeah. It's like, what? I mean, I know a Manowar is a real thing, but it's definitely... the Mavericks got real strange, especially toward the end.
Oh, maybe do something off of the constellations, the ones that are more animal themed. Can you get a full 8 out of that?
Maybe, yeah.
Like a dual fish Maverick for Pisces. Weird goat fish for Capricorn. Taurus.
Yeah. Crab.
I mean, we already had Bubble Crab, but throw in Cancer. You got Scorpio.
Yeah. You could probably play with that. That might be fun. There's some good ones in there. Double Bubble Crab.
Or go off the Chinese Zodiac and you have 4 extra. Maybe they're more like plot relevant characters. End boss stage characters, if you will.
Gemini Man. Wait. We already had that. All right. We got one last question. Awesome possum. Okay. Enough. Enough. We got one last question.
Come into the room and he's already acting like he's dead.
Here's one from Wolf's Bane, our last question. Ian, this might sound a bit strange of a question, but I've always been curious. Would Mobian mammals still need to take care of themselves regarding fur, wool, etc.? Like, would Mobian dogs and cats, like Whisper and Blaze, need to trim fur? Or a Mobian sheep, like Lanolin, need to trim wool?
I think in general, the rules of the series is that you don't think about that or really address bodily functions to any degree.
Yeah, not too much, except eating.
But at the same time, I would imagine it'd be no different than like going to the barber and trimming your hair.
Yeah.
You know, you go to the salon for a mani and a pedi and a brushing.
Does Lanolin need help if she falls on her back? I mean, maybe. Does she scream and fall over if you scare her? Wait, no, that's a goat. That's a fainting goat, not a sheep. Never mind. Although Lanolin truly is the goat these days.
That's going to wrap us up for this episode of the BumbleKast. But before we go, we need to give a big thank you to all our patrons over at patreon.com/BumbleKast, Ko-fi.com/BumbleKast, and our YouTube members. Big thank you to Daniel H., Jennifer R., James K., John B., Robotnik Holmes, Sam, Cybercat, Samuel P., Torchbound, Mike B., Andrew D., Dave M., Salucha Cat, Jay Frost, Coupling Crew 128, Duas Diz Din, Noni, Hero of Light 13, Professor Scruffy Matt, Chris A., Sony, Triforce Riku, Sonic, John M., Jib, Fiona M., Yami M., Lee HK, Lisa M., Scurvy Pirate Hog, Ben Wolfsbane, Chevelle, Arc Fighter, Keeper of Monsters, Axis, Xanderoni the Painter, Tick Tick, Twilord, Starlight Sec, Jonathan D., Z Broadcast, Chaos Sonic 1, The Name is X, The Disgan, Solaris Stain, Cameron H, Nemric, Godzilla, Nondal, Ink Thinks, Jolene B, Ava Arctic Dove, Justin S, Just a Mountain Soul, Dadler the Dalek, Alex GS, Sonic Legacy, Yuma 221, Jennifer H, Pedanti Cat, Les, Red the Supernamic, Nova Polyduo, Chad, Alphamon or Yukon, Joshua S, Omegawatt, Jack the Animator of the Stars and Tales, Derucival, Preston M, Jay the Redneck, Ginzel, Noah M, Kujiro Highwind, Awesome Cakester, Windcard 717, Sammy S, Supersonic Fan, Sonic 84, Radry, Chase L, Tetsuya the Wise, Mancher, Indabend, Miles the Prower, Navarre, Exidil, Agent Cass, Puppy the Scholar, Four Sonic Fan, Rhythm Raccoon, Pig Dan 20, Wheelie Dose, Sandra BH, Ozjam, Shimmy M, Aiden S, Curly Quills, Angela V, N Zephyr, Smiley 21, The Marble Gardener, Domino AU, Subliminal, Miggy Sawdust, Sterling Sonic, Crooker, Vlad Conga, Windskull, Supernova, Superior Pizza, Sonic PAJ, Philip is Cold, Thigoff, The Crucified Devil, Loop D Loop, Omega Man 21, Thievius, Michael P, Dominic the Raccoon, Planet Breezy, Delta God 77, E200 Paragon, Razor, Unity, Hedrian, Lori L, Native Nerd 27, Jason G, Cody G, Nils, Sir Needlemouse, SB, My Fish Eats Rocks, The ID Card, Philip C, Jonathan F, Hip Kid Brick, Levi C, Lacey M, Amazing, Lucky Lychee, Samuth Star, Dead Air, They Made a Vow Their Mother Will Be Found, Raccoon Shinobi, Normal Person, Marcy H, Caswell, Mr. Murderbird, The Giant Murdering Bird, OK Cheese Stick, Adrian W, Zaylock, Nebula Noob, Tetsu Knife, Ultra Guy, Crabo, Salato 02, Sonic Median 2099, Hadronis, Noob 600, Knuckle Sandwich 87, Astro Speed P, Miles Full Prower, Cool Christy 1, Paley, Tender Heart Fawn, Guts, Johanna S, The Man of Multimedia, Foofy 93, Mr. Snippy, or Miss Snippy, please tell us. Travis H, Sunblister 16, Zoom, Razor, True Sonic Digilab 79, Zapon Sirion, L Technopada, Miles Prower D, Butter Noodles, Danny the Light, Frost the Hobbidon, Meta Mode, Wheels 282 Hedgehog, Jamal S, Devon C, J Chance, More Kerosene, and Bear Dragon 5.
Awesome. Cool. All right. Thank you, everybody, so much for supporting the show. You guys are incredible. I don't even know how to vocalize my appreciation for you. So I do my best, though. So thank you.
Be good to yourselves. Be good to each other. And we will see you next time on the BumbleKast.
Take care, everybody. Oh, boy. So in the chat right now, there is an image of a certain father of an Echidna character. And it's the quote from Star Fox 64 that says, "This baby can take temperatures up to 9,000 degrees."
That's a heck of a microwave.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Don't put your babies in the microwave, please. Nobody do that. That's no, don't do that. Please don't do that. You've been listening to the BumbleKast, a co-production of Bumble King Comics and the KNGI Network. Original theme music composed by Ken Coda Snyder. Remixed intro by T-Lopes. Find out more information, along with podcast feeder links, MP3 downloads, and more at bumbleking.com and kngi.org.
Be good to yourselves. Be good to each other. And we will see you next time on the BumbleKast.
Can you redo that, Ian? Discord had a freak out.
Be good to yourselves. Be good to each other. And we'll see you next time on the BumbleKast.
Discord? Discord is not being good to Ian right now.
Be good to yourselves. Be good to each other. And we will see you next time on the BumbleKast.
Take care, everybody. There we go. Finally. Jeez.
Be good to yourself. Be good to each other.
HomestarRunner.net. It's .com.
Be friggin' good to each other. I mean, holy crap.
Why would Strong Bad want people to be good to each other? That's not his thing.
What are you talking about? It's all about, like, making love and war. Or love to war.
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't read that book.